Hello friends. All right, so in this video we are asked to show that every cyclic group is an abelian group. All right, so first of all we need to know what is a cyclic group, when is a group said to be cyclic, and when is a group said to be abelian. These are two important concepts of group theory, and then they actually represent certain types of group. Meanwhile, we know that a group is actually a set, a non-empty set that fulfills four properties. One, it has to be closed together under a particular binary operation. It has to be associative. It has to have an identity element, and it has to have every element in the set should have an inverse. So for instance, the set of integers together with addition, or you can say under addition, is a group. Now with this example I can show you what I mean. For instance, if you pick any element of this set, remember that these are whole numbers, both positive and negative. So, and if you add any two elements of this set, you will discover that it will still be a whole number. It will still be inside Z. So that's what we call closure. Then associativity is that if I pick any three and then add the three of them together, that it is the same thing as assuming I choose to add the first two together before adding the third, that it will give me the same thing as adding the last two first before adding the first. So this is associativity. And then presence of identity, there should be an element E, we call it E, inside this Z, such that by the time you add it to another element, it will give you that same element. And of course, you know, I'm using addition because the binary operation we used here is addition. And of course, you know that there is an element in Z that behaves that way, and that element is 0. So if you add 0 to any element of Z, it will give you back that element. So Z has an identity element. And finally, every element you pick in Z, assume that A is in Z, the inverse of A should be in Z. And what is the meaning of inverse? Inverse of A, we write it this way. So this is just a nomenclature. So it means that if you add it, if you use it with the binary operation on A, it should give you the identity element. And of course, you know that in an integer, in the set of integer, every element has another element that behaves that way. For instance, if I have 2, I know that if I add -2 to 2, I am definitely going to get the identity element, which is 0. So that implies that the inverse of A in Z is actually equal to -A. All right. So now we know what a group is. So when is a group said to be cyclic? All right. So a group is cyclic. A group G is cyclic if there exists is cyclic if there exists, this is a symbol for there exists, if there exists an element A in G such that, this is the symbol for such that your G is generated by that A. What's the meaning of generated? Generated in the sense that if I use the binary operation of G on A repeatedly, that I should be able to get all the elements of G. So we write it this way, that this should be equal to A raised to the power of n, such that n is inside your integer. Okay, so I'll try to explain what this means. So for instance, now let's give an example. Maybe an example will help us get it. So for instance, if I have something like let my G be equal to 2z. 2z means the set of all even integers. So you have something like 0 is there, 2, 4, 6, and so on. And then -2, -4, and so on this side. Okay, so you can see that this particular group now, remember, the binary operation is plus. Okay, so this particular group now is actually generated by 2, and it can also be generated by -2, but let's use 2 for instance. So what we are saying is that if I use the binary operation on this g, which is plus, repeatedly on 2, I am going to get all the elements here. For instance, if I keep adding 2 2 2 2, I will get, the positive parts, that's to 2. If I add plus 2, I will get 4. If I add plus 2 again, I'll get 6. Remember that this power here, we are using it as a symbol. So it's actually talking about the binary operation. So you're repeating it on A. So instead of you having A times A, that is the meaning of power, times A up to n times. Since the binary operation is plus, it will now be A plus A plus A and so on. Alright, so now that we have this on the right, if I now start adding the negative integers, remember that your n is coming from integers. So if I start adding the negative ones, I will now be getting the negative part of it. Okay, so now that means this generates, that 2 generates this particular group. And the same thing applies to z, the z we talked about up there. This guy also has a generator of 1. So 1 also generates this guy. Now there's a particular group I'm going to be showing you. For instance, if you recall the set of complex numbers, if I have something like 1 minus 1 I and minus I, okay, this under multiplication is going to form a group. Remember we said that a group must be closed. That means any 2 elements you pick and multiply, it should still be here. If you try it, you'll see that that will work. Number 2, associativity should hold. That one is trivial because this is a subset of C, and C is associative, so each subset should also be associative. Then 3, there is the identity element, which is 1. 1 can multiply all of these to give the same element, and every element has inverse. The inverse of 1 is 1, the inverse of minus 1 is minus 1, the inverse of I is minus I, and the inverse of minus I is I. Alright, so that we have established that this is a group. Now this is also a cyclic group, and it is generated by either I or minus I. Okay, so how do you mean? Now since the binary operation is multiplication, so if I pick I the first time, that will give me, that's power 1. If I raise it to power 2, that's going to be -1. So I've gotten I and -1. If I raise it to power 3, that's going to be -1 times I, which is -I. So I've gotten -I. And if I raise it to power 4, that will give me -I times I, which is actually -I squared, which is equal to 1. Alright, so you have seen that now raising this into repeated powers has generated all the elements of the group. So it is a cyclic group. Okay, now I've explained what a cyclic group is. Now, what then is the meaning of Abelian? When is a group or a set said to be Abelian? A set G is Abelian if I pick any 2 elements of the group, let's say A, B are in G, and I discover that if I use the binary operation, let's say the binary operation is star, I don't know it, and then on top of my B, that this is equal to B star A. So if you can switch the order of the elements around the binary operation and it is still the same, then you say that that binary operation is Abelian, or that the group is Abelian under the binary operation. For instance, the Z that we defined above is Abelian. That's this guy is Abelian. If you pick any 2 elements of Z, if you pick A plus B is actually equal to B plus A. 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2. So abelianity holds for Z plus. Okay, so now what this theorem here is saying is actually a theorem. It says that every cyclic group, any group that can be generated by an element of the group, is always Abelian. And that's what we want to show. Okay, quickly, let's try to prove that here. So proof. All right, so we go. Now, first of all, now to show that something is abelian, that means we are going to pick two elements of the group. Okay, so let's G1 and G2, let me use comma there. Let G1 and G2 be the elements of G. And now you have said that G is cyclic. So you want to show that it is abelian. Alright, so now whenever we prove in abstract mathematics, you prove with the information you're given. So we have two information here. One is that these two elements are in G and G is cyclic. Okay, so let's try to show that this is now abelian. Okay, so if G1 is in G, remember that G is cyclic, and it means that, remember the definition, we said that since G is cyclic, that means it is generated by a particular A where N is in Z. Okay, so the meaning is that there is at least an element, let's say R in Z. There is a particular N in Z such that this G1 is generated by A. That means such that G1 is equal to A raised to the power of R. Notice what we are saying, that since my G1 is in G, remember that G is generated by A. That means all the elements of G are gotten by raising A to the power of a particular element of Z. Okay, so we have now said let R be in Z. So it means that your G1 is generated by A raised to power of R. And the same thing will happen for G2. So if G2 is in G, that means it's also generated by a particular A raised to power of something in Z. So let me redefine here. So let us have R and S in Z. So R generates G1 and then S generates G2. Okay, so now and this is because of cyclic property of G. So now we want to show that this G is cyclic. How do we do that? So let's multiply, sorry, it's abelian. So let's multiply. Remember, I'm using multiplication for lack of words. Okay, now that's going to be G1, G2 is now going to be equal to, remember our G1 is A raised to power R, while our G2 is A raised to the power of S. Now, but then of course you know that by indices, A raised to the power of R multiplying A raised to the power of S is simply A raised to the power of S plus R, because multiplication changes to addition of powers. Okay, so what will happen here is that, remember that R and S are coming from Z, and you know that Z is already abelian with respect to addition. I said it earlier. So that means I can actually turn this into S plus R. Okay, so what does that mean? So I can now interpret this again. I can interpret this as S raised to power, A raised to power S times A raised to power R. Okay, and this is the same thing as G2 G1. So I've been able to show that I started from G1 G2 and I've shown that it is equal to G2 G1. That means any two elements of G that you pick and you compute them this way, that it can actually be equal to turning them the other way around, and that is what you need to show for abelianity. Therefore our G is abelian. All right, and that's enough to complete the required proof. Okay, so that's what I said to show us in this video. Kindly subscribe to my channel, do give a thumbs up to this, and then we'll see you in another video. Bye bye.